what that was about.
All right, we're going to try this again.
We're going to try this again.
We're going to try it again. Hello, everybody. Good morning.
See if
Happy Monday.
in and it looks normal because that was really weird.
It was. Hello.
There's a person.
There you are.
Okay.
Okay, I feel like this is better.
Well, did everybody hear my thing about the robots? Now I feel like I need to repeat it because in case people missed it. I put up a meme on Instagram that says, I keep saying Alexa when I mean to say Siri, and I just cannot believe that I live at a time where I'm getting my servant robots mixed up. And add to that, I have Jibo as well. So you got a whole other robot in the mix.
I thought you got rid of him.
Well, he's powered down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. He's probably very sad about that. He's going to take over in the middle of the night, so you have to take him out back and burn him with fire.
No, he's so nice. Okay, we need to talk about Gwyneth Paltrow's vag candles, you guys.
Yes. She has a vagina that's, or
she
candle,
does have that too.
A candle that smells like her vagina.
And it's sold out.
Where, if you bought one of these,
or would buy one of those,
what is wrong
had
with
they not been sold out, could you please call our hotline at 317-684-8444 and explain yourself at once?
It's supposed to smell like bergamot.
Well, it's supposed to smell exactly like a blend of geranium, citrusy bergamot, and cedar absolutes juxtaposed with damask rose and ambrit seed.
So that's what that's what she thinks her vag smells like. Is bergamot.
Is that how you even say it?
I don't know.
Is it like bergamot?
I think that's what. Don't you cook with that?
I
don't know because we don't cook. Does anybody cook with bergamot?
Somebody says they can't see us. We're right here.
I know, but I think your photo is
green. There's something going on with Facebook today because wow, there's been some crazy happening.
Can everybody else see us?
I mean,
does
anybody see us normally? Like, can anybody see us? Does it look all right to anybody?
Well, I mean, Joshua just said, "What's up, chicks?" Hey, Joshua, what's up?
Are we learning about gun owners' rights marches in Virginia today? Bergamot is Earl Grey tea.
Bergamot?
I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm just saying it.
So her hoo-ha smells like tea.
Tea. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, but also geraniums and damask rose and ambrit seed. Okay. All the things that I don't know what those things are. All right. But you guys, people bought it. And what's worse is that it is a $75 candle.
Yeah, it's probably going to burn out in like 3 hours, right? This is like, it's not a giant candle.
No, I mean, it's like a regular size little table candle.
$75. Something is wrong with people.
It's sold out.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
There's so much wrong with people. So much wrong. I mean, they could have taken that money and given it to, I don't know, Australia.
Oh, God, the animals in Australia.
Right? They could have done that.
Did you see, now I will say, I accidentally was like, oh my God, that would be so cute. Like they showed some pictures of a regular neighborhood, like just a regular suburban neighborhood. And because of the fires, all these kangaroos were just hanging out in everybody's yards, like just piles of kangaroos. And I'm not going to lie. I had a thought that I was like, man, I would really like to live in the neighborhood for just like a day and hang out with all of the kangaroos.
Yeah.
But then my husband was like, no, because then you would feed them and then we would have kangaroos and that's not good for anybody. Mm-hmm. So it's just awful seeing all the animals. And I will say I retweeted Alyssa Milano because Alyssa Milano posted the most precious little video of all these baby wallabies that had been rescued and they were all in these little tiny blankets.
You retweeted her.
Well, and I even said, this is the first time I'm retweeting her because I like what I'm seeing. Normally I'll retweet her and be like, what an idiot.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, oh my God, the wallabies.
The wallabies, yeah.
They were so cute. So cute.
Bergamot is a natural bug repellent.
Great. Well, I mean, that's a nice property for a candle to have.
And also for that area. Apparently.
What in the world?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Also, you found this article about new support groups for dudes.
Yeah, this is happening. They've had a surge in popularity. It's called the Everyman. There's no second E in that. It's just EVRY man. And it's like an anti-fight club. And
That's how they're billing it.
Yeah, men go to just cry. And listen, I have nothing wrong with men crying. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's fine.
It's fine.
But
it's
go
just
to
a
like
odd that they do it together.
Yeah, they go to like a chalet together. It's sort of like a girls' weekend, but it's for men and they're crying.
And listen, it's the article that's saying this, not us. It's saying it helps them shrug off the armor of masculinity.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting interrupted.
Oh, no.
I'm on Wi-Fi.
And I feel like, they say, even in the article, that there's been a surge of attendance because there's been a shift in attitudes and increased curiosity about what it means to be male, particularly among U.S. millennials.
What's wrong with these people? Just be a dude. Just be a dude.
Now, we did a whole podcast on this, the Mock and Daisy Common Sense cast, about how we want to bring dudes back, and also the balls.
Where's
balls.
The cup?
It's right here. We want to bring back the balls. There's not a whole lot. Just if you could just have them, maybe ask your girlfriend to give them back to you or your wife. Just have the balls, because I feel like they're going away.
Oh my God.
Now we're probably gonna get calls from people or emails saying you're mean and you're
encouraging toxic masculinity.
Well, that's cool. We're encouraging it. We're encouraging the toxic masculinity.
I'm not encouraging toxicity of any kind.
I am encouraging toxic masculinity.
I'm just encouraging dudes to be dudes and don't feel like they're toxic when they're not. Because if you're a dude that's like going around raping women, that's toxic, okay? That's a problem, and you need help.
Yeah, but masculinity, by definition, is not toxic.
No, of course not.
Okay? I mean, it's the men that walk around, they scratch themselves a little. It's like, that's not toxic. They're just dudes. Dudes being dudes is not toxic. I think that's why a lot of these guys have to go to therapy.
Well, this one guy, Ryan, has been attending sessions for 6 months, he says. And he says, I grew up in Louisiana where the definition of a man is very narrow. Do you hunt or do you play football? I didn't do either, so I grew up feeling like an outsider. This has caused him to need 6 months of intense chalet therapy with other dudes. I mean,
where they have like Pinot Noir or whatever it is. I don't even drink that, and I'm a woman.
They probably drink Prosecco, to be honest.
Because it's sparkly. Yeah. So here's the thing: So what if you didn't play football and you don't? You're not. What is the other thing? Football and what was the other
hunt
thing? And you don't hunt. Yeah. There are plenty of guys that So what if you just played chess? That's cool.
Yeah,
it's totally cool. You can still be a dude and do that. No woman is like, you have to play football.
Right.
And if there is a woman that's saying that, you find another woman.
It's not that hard.
No, you can still have balls.
Yeah.
There's the universal symbol. You can still have those and play chess and have masculinity.
Well, the Everyman co-founder, Dan Doty, says the purpose is not to deal directly with toxic masculinity, but that issue is never too far away. So they're always basically right there, willing to tell men, be careful about your toxicness. Your toxicity. Don't be toxic. I wonder if they play Britney Spears as toxic, like, throughout. You know what I mean? Like, if they just have that, and, like, all the dudes are like...
Yeah, they're all like, they're all getting down.
Women, by the way, are not allowed to join for now because of the fear of it inhibiting the men from being open with their feelings.
They're drinking Zima. That's what Dawn said. Yes, Dawn. They're drinking Zima.
Yes, Zima. What's the other one that is real popular now?
White Claw.
That's what they're drinking.
Zima or White Claw. The millennials are drinking White Claw, and then the older dudes are drinking the Zima.
Yes,
that's what's happening. Yeah.
Also, a lot of stuff going on in Iran. Right now, there's a lot of protests against the Iranian government. Who would have seen that coming? It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Because you know what? Alison Camerata and Aaron Burnett, both of CNN, were desperately trying to say how friendly the people are who say, "Death to America." Did you see that?
Oh,
Aaron Burnett was literally, she said, I was there for some Death to America protests once in Iran, and everyone was so friendly to me. I'm not making that up.
Oh my God.
I'm not making it up.
It's like,
we should play it.
And we have sound of Chris Matthews last week comparing Soleimani to Princess Di and Elvis. I mean What
Is he on MSNBC or CNN?
Yeah, he's
Okay,
MSNBC. Can you imagine what Princess Di is like thinking in her grave? She's like, can you just shut up? Also, and Elvis too. I don't want to be compared to a terrorist. You twit.
Okay, you guys have to listen to Erin Burnett, because if you don't believe me, then this will make you believe me. So
Okay, so we're gonna listen
play
to
Erin
Erin
Burnett.
Burnett.
It's really
She's
short.
my favorite.
All right,
Well, I will say, I was in Tehran when they were chanting "Death to America" once. I was at a rally. The people couldn't have been more friendly to me personally as an American. It sort of felt like a thing and a trope as opposed to anything that actually was seriously meant and considered.
Well,
I understand your point, but having been there, my experience was
Erin,
Yeah,
you're in
I mean, it was like, "Death to America." I love your shoes. They're so cute.
She's actually trying to say they're screaming "Death to America," but they don't really know what
They're
they
like,
mean.
yeah, they don't.
It's just a trope,
They're
you guys.
super nice.
It's fine.
They're so
And then
nice,
today,
you guys.
We have Allison Camerata arguing with a Republican representative about whether or not there are people in Iran that don't like their government. She was like, but, did you see all the millions of people that were there for Soleimaniac? Did you see that? There were so many people there mourning him. And this guy's like, are you aware of what's going on right now? There are Iranian people who are purposefully not stepping on the Israeli and American flags out of respect, and they're screaming about how the U.S. is not the enemy. And she's like, yeah, but did you see all those people that came out for Soleimani? Did you see? This is what they're doing on CNN.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're so
It's
desperate.
CNN and MSNBC. I mean, they're trying to paint this narrative that he was this great guy and that the people don't hate their government. Hello. Meanwhile, the government.
Why? And what is the purpose of that?
Because they don't want Trump to have a win. I mean, this is the lengths they will go to so Trump doesn't have any sort of a win here. They want to paint him as a warmonger and like this terrible guy and just a dumbass, right? I mean, they will do anything that they can to make that happen, and they're going to side with the terrorists. Can you even imagine that this has happened? I would never in a million years, if you'd have told me this would have happened 6-7 years ago, I'd have been like, no.
It's incredible.
Surely we can all come together on this one thing. This guy was a maniac terrorist and he killed Americans. We can all come together on this. We can't. Mm-hmm. I mean, they can't even let him have this. It's crazy. It is just absolute nuts. I look at these people and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Get a grip.
At some point, don't you want to be on America's side?
No, they don't.
You know what I mean? Like
they don't.
That's just amazing to me. Amazing.
They don't.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So anyway, that's happening. Let's see, what else are we doing today?
We're talking about
Talking a little Megxit, right?
We're talking a little Megxit because they're having the royal meeting today, and I find it interesting that Meghan gets to bail and go to Canada. With little Archie, that she gets to go, since she started it all.
Right.
But then she's like, I'm gonna go hang out in Canada while you clean up the mess, honey. Okay. And by the way, we're getting advice from the Obamas
Oh my God.
on how to do all this. It's all
I never
nuts.
know like what sources to trust at this point, because I saw somewhere too over the weekend that Gayle King that they granted an interview. They're gonna do a tell-all with Gayle King.
Ugh.
And Gayle King is like, I haven't even talked to them, so I don't know where that's coming from. So, then when you read the stuff about the Obama, I don't know like actually what's happening.
Like if it's happening. Well, I do know that she's a hag.
Well,
And I
goes
do know
without
that
saying.
he's an ungrateful little twit too. I mean, it's like, seriously, Harry, he also needs this.
He needs the mug.
Yeah.
Also, it's debate night tomorrow night. So
Super
that would
excited
be
about
really
that.
Exciting. Is it just the 5? Are we just doing 5?
I think it's just the
So
5.
it's Klobuchar,
Mm-hmm.
Bernie, Warren.
bring me into this?
Warren and Joe and former Mayor Pete.
So weird because they're all white.
Yeah, and most of them are old.
So weird.
It is pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my husband and I were talking about this yesterday, how this Democrat primary is going to be so fun because no one is going to get 50%, you guys. This is totally going to go to the convention, and then who knows what's going to bust out at that.
It'll be Bloomberg.
You think?
It'll
Because some
end up
people
being
are still
Bloomberg.
saying it's going to be Michelle Obama, and I mean, all kinds of people are speculating about who the final nominee will be. But I don't think it's going to be up to the people. I think what's going to happen is no one's going to get their 50%, and then the superdelegates are basically going to get to call the shots, which means they would probably pick Biden, though, don't you think? Because he's so establishment-y.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think he probably has the best shot at like getting. I still think Trump will beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, I think he probably will.
He'll beat the crap out of him. But I think Bloomberg will try to buy his way in as much as he can.
And he was buying up ads during the football game last night, too. There was a couple, at least, that I saw, and that's only when I was paying attention, which wasn't a lot.
No one seems to care about the stuff that he said to women over the past, however many decades.
And he's not being, I mean, he's like, I'm not releasing anybody from their NDAs, so you're not going to hear anything more about that.
I mean, if you guys haven't heard about that, we've talked about it on our show. You can Google it, but he, like, women that used to work for him, if they got pregnant, he'd be like, you need to kill the baby.
Because that's an inconvenience to me and my company.
The guy, oh my God, he's so gross. So gross. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's, how many, wasn't there like 30 plus lawsuits? Or whatever, not lawsuits, but, well, maybe lawsuits that women filed against
But the problem
company.
is that these women took money. You know, to shut up. And so when you do that, you have to shut up. And so that's what sucks, is that you can't, I mean, on principle, if you're going to go on principle and try to go against somebody as rich as Bloomberg, you kind of have to say, well, you know what, am I going to do this based on, am I going to take the money and shut up, or am I going to go after this pig? You know, and sometimes you got to go after him. Sometimes you have to have... and then go after these guys. Yeah. And no one has done that. Not one woman has done that, and that's a shame. I really wish there was at least one that was willing to not take the money and was willing to go after him. And that sucks.
Which reminds me, that whole Megyn Kelly, I don't know if you guys saw that. Megyn Kelly, it's like a half-hour show that she did. I don't know what her show is. I think it's just a YouTube show maybe. But she got together... some women that were portrayed in that movie Bombshell. So obviously she was there, and then I can't remember the names of the other women. I'm sorry, I can't remember them. But what was interesting about it is that Gretchen Carlson was not there, and there was one teeny tiny mention of her by that panel, in which I think it was Megyn who actually said she was not well thought of at Fox, and that's. I don't think any of those women like her.
Megyn? They don't like Megyn?
No. They don't like Gretchen.
Oh, they don't like
Gretchen. Which is why she
Okay.
wasn't invited to be part of that panel, because obviously Gretchen is a huge part of, her character is a huge part of that movie.
And she's the one who basically spearheaded the Me Too movement.
Yeah, well, she's the, and for sure, the reason that is a story, the reason Bombshell is a story is because Gretchen is the one that brought it all to the forefront.
So that's really interesting.
I know.
Right?
I thought so too, because I thought, well, I mean, all the other women that are represented are there in this panel.
Except for her.
Except for her, one of the main characters, and they didn't mention it, and except for that one tiny little line.
That's really,
which I thought was so weird.
That is interesting. I want to see that movie.
Now I do. Now after watching Megyn's little show about it,
I didn't.
I
had no interest up until like about a week and a half ago when all these little clips started coming out, and her watching it herself and seeing her reaction and knowing that a lot of it really is truthful.
Yeah, and they point out like they tell you exactly, here are the things that were not as accurate as they should have been, and then this scene was like 100% accurate. They even talk about the famous elevator scene that everyone has seen.
Was that accurate?
Yeah. And that's when a bunch of them got really emotional, I guess, when they were watching the movie. Anyway, it was it's on our website. If you haven't seen the whole Megyn Kelly show, that video is on our website. You can watch it there. It's a half an hour well spent.
Yeah, and Charlotte, she did ruin the Miss America pageant.
Yeah, she really did. I have never been a fan of Gretchen Carlson. I've always felt she was so... What is the word?
I don't know, but I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
But I don't know the word. I have to be careful with my words.
Well, because there's a word about... To me, it's phony. Like, there's something so...
That's a good word.
Phony about her...
Like if I wouldn't trust her.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust her if we were coworkers or whatever. I would be like, I'm gonna just.
There's just something so.
I'm gonna keep her over there. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but she has always rubbed me wrong forever and ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
fake.
from the Fox and
Somebody
Friends
said
days.
fake.
Yeah, just nothing about her seems real or authentic, and so and maybe that was the same impression that those other women had.
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
Smug and plastic. Okay.
Those are very good descriptors.
Those are arrogant.
Yeah, people are able to articulate it better than
We're
me.
getting some words. Disingenuous.
Yeah, those are great descriptors. So, but that means we're not the only ones who see that, right? And so it's not like she ever did anything that I was like, wow, I really hate that she did X, although the pageant stuff is a pretty big deal. But I mean, when she was on TV, I could never point to one specific thing and say, I cannot believe she said that, or I cannot believe she did that. It's just her whole essence.
Demeanor, yeah.
Yeah. Just not a fan.
Yeah. Okay.
Staged. That's another good one.
Yeah, Stage is a good one. It's a good one.
New podcast is being recorded today, a little bit early. I think it'll drop at around the same time, though. I don't think it's dropping early.
Yeah.
But it's going to be about a whole big bunch of trans issues because it's getting crazy out there, y'all. If you didn't look at Twitter this weekend, you should check out our Twitter account, because damn, there were some fights going on.
A lot of it has to do, well, the pronoun thing is one, because you're finding a lot about that, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that, there's no waiting period. Like I say a kid, but it's happening to kids. So say a kid thinks that they, if a kid, like a boy says, I want to become a girl, and that boy says, I want to go ahead and have surgery to become that girl because I'm convinced I want to be a girl. There's like no waiting period or anything for that boy to become a girl. And they will surgically enhance that person, and there's no turning back. And
I don't know what the waiting periods are. I mean, I remember that there used to be that you'd have to, before you would have transition surgery, you would have to live as the other gender for a year. But now that there are there's all this bull crap about non-binariness. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know what the rules are. It's entirely
we
possible.
know there's not in Scotland.
Right.
Because we know there's not in places like Europe. So it's kind of, I would imagine that would start trickling here. And there's such acceptance for it and praise almost for these people that it's just become the norm to go, okay, well, you want to change your gender? All right, we'll go ahead and do that. And it's some of these kids are mentally ill. And so I don't know if people are looking into that. And anyway.
I mean, it's a crazy time when we're actually considering saying the gender dysphoria is not a mental illness anymore. That's the problem, is that we're now veering off this cliff where we're saying we're just going to affirm people as trans people regardless, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna become so affirmative of transness.
It's like, you do you.
Right, that we're not stepping back and actually addressing the mental health issues. Mm-hmm. That's a huge problem.
And it is a mental health issue, and it's sometimes wrapped up with a whole bunch of other mental health issues, and then 4 years after, or even 2 years, a year after they get it done, they're like, oh crap, I didn't want to do that.
You're starting to hear a lot more about detransitioning.
Yeah.
And excellent thread on our website that we posted this morning at chicksontheright.com. You have to read about this person's experience with detransitioning and the regret that this person is now going through, and how easy it was for them to make the transition from female to male in the first place.
Yeah, and Shaylin said some kids are screaming for attention. Well, yeah, I kind of feel like that's what teenagers do.
Right.
This is what they're known for. It's like me. And then we throw in this whole gender dysphoria thing, or hey, you're special if you're trans.
Yeah.
And it's a recipe for disaster. So we're going to be talking a lot about this on our podcast.
And if you want to get a little preview, you could always listen to the podcast that we did with transgender conservative activist Blair White, which is excellent, and that's already in our podcast lineup. It was from several weeks ago, and if you missed it, it was really, really interesting. So make sure that you're subscribed, because there's going to be a new episode this week.
Yay! All right, you guys. Monday, bring it in! Bring it in! We hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.